Hey guys, am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Can't tell. Hello everybody who is watching and could possibly hear me. This is my first live. Thank you guys for coming. Let me see if I can assure that I'm actually live. Da, 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 da. Yo guys, am I live? Yeah. What's up everybody and welcome to our first live here at Keyprint Co. Unfortunately, I have no idea how the setup should be, so if you bear with me, I'll kind of get you guys set up. So today what I want to be doing is neck tags using the face mask kit. Also, if somebody could let me know in maybe the comments, are there comments? What's up? Can you guys hear me? If you could just write in the comments whether or not you can hear me from this distance, then I'll know that we're good. And no one's letting me know. Yo, can you guys let me know if you can hear me real quick? Yes. All right. Cool. Say what? Oh, you mean there's a delay between the chat and like my voice? Like when you guys can hear it, it's after I say something, right?
There's two delays. The first delay is you say it out loud,
Hey, buddy.
and then we hear it a little later. The second delay is the comments. We really gotta wait like a minute. Gotcha.
All right. Well, I also want to do it so that I'm not like hunched over the entire time. That seems to work pretty well. Cool. So if you're just joining us now, and or if you're watching this in the future, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some neck tags with the face mask kit. But before I do that, I guess I kind of want to talk a little bit about why. I also want to arrange you guys so you can watch me do it. But hello to anybody who's watching. Ooh, can I see who's watching? That'd be tight. No, I can't. All right. So in case you're wondering what we're going to be doing, this is what we're going to be doing. We're printing neck tags directly onto shirts with the face mask kit. So kind of before I walk you through that, I do want to explain a little bit as to why we're doing it this way, right? So you're printing t-shirts, right? Boom, 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 boom. And then you got to neck tag all of them, right? You got two options for that. You either want to do the transfers, which means that you screen print on transfer paper and then you put some adhesive powder on it, do the whole run with it, and then you transfer that onto the shirt. Or the second option is you can screen print directly onto the shirt. So we're going to go direct to screen print on the shirt because it saves time, you get less supplies involved in the process, and it's faster. Now, some of you guys, you probably can't see it from there, but let me show you what I'm going to be screen printing. So we do have a hearty amount of t-shirts we're going to be screen printing. It's all of these back here. But you might be asking yourself, Leo, how do you want to prepare for a job like this? Let me tell you, viewer. What we did is we sorted everything out by size. And it's okay if it's different colors because we're going to be screen printing the exact same neck tag on all of them. So as long as they're by size, that pile will be said size that we're going to screen print. We're also going to be doing the same color on everything. So it really doesn't matter. It's like beige or gray or anything. Cool. So you got size small here, which is the first one we're probably going to do. The piles were a lot bigger earlier. And that's kind of really the reason why we're doing this is because if you're doing a few thousand shirts and you're going to be doing a lot of neck tag transfers, you're going to realize very quickly that the amount of time it would have saved you if you just screen printed directly on them would have been like hours versus like a few seconds if you're only doing like 2 or 3. So let's get started. And hello, new viewer. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is laying out the smalls here right next to you guys so you guys can get comfortable. And yeah. All right, let me break down what I'm doing based on what I got on the press already. So what I got here, let me tilt you guys down so you can see that a little bit. All right, what I got here is the bracket adapter. Also, sorry the light is so harsh. Let me try to fix that for you guys. All right, how you guys doing? Is that a little better? Yeah. All right, so what we got here is the bracket adapter. And the quickest way and the fastest way to get adjusted to this is you slide it in where your t-shirt button once was. You tighten the right side, and then you tighten both of these bottom nubs. There that you can put on your first platen, which is your face mask platen. Now that that's set up on the press, here's how you want to register a job like this. So keeping in mind that the print surface area is this 3x4 square up here, what you want to do is you want to take a test shirt, and if you have the hoop available, you could just like hoop it down. But what we're looking for here is to align the print surface area with where the design is going to land. So in this case, we're just going to do the registration directly on the press itself. Let me set this aside for a second. All right. So for these, doing a size small. And I can already see here, size small is right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up, move this over. And just so you guys can see what I see, what we did is we printed, maybe it's a little bit on this side. What we did is we printed all of the sizes. What we did is we printed all of the sizes on one screen. So you got small all the way up to, I believe, all the way up to XL. So small up to XL. And then as we're printing different sizes, all we're doing is moving the screen to a different position. So, and sorry, the autofocus isn't registering very well, but that's what I'm doing. All right. Now, in this case, trying to register the small, which is this guy right here. So, I'm just going to put it directly on my press. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make sure that it's in line with the actual platen itself. And that was pretty fast. The second thing that I'm going to do is make sure that the off contact is pretty good. Which is right. But the last thing I'm going to do, and maybe I can bring you guys over so you can take a better look. So right now, small is not directly above the print surface area. XL is. What we want to do is move the platen this way so that it's closer to the small. And that's what I'm about to do. So I'm going to loosen it up from the side, loosen it up from the bottom, and just slide it over until it's under the small. Cool. I'm just going to make sure that my design is lined up with the print surface area. Oh, we're also next to train tracks, so in case you guys are hearing those noises, it's trains. Trains. Cool. So design checks out. It's right over the print surface area. So right here is the print surface area. It's right over there. Check in for height adjustments if I need to make any. Basically off contact. You want to make sure that you're not like directly on the surface. You want to have a little bit of a gap so that the off contact makes it a little bit easier to print, especially when you're doing fleece. When you do fleece on this, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. All right. Off contact's good. Design is directly above it. Cool. So now I'm just going to get my testing. If I can find it. There it is. Print a test. Okay. So when we're doing neck tags, we don't actually use the hoop. You could use the hoop. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. But the way that I do it is I'm taking this top part right here. The part that's a little chunky part up here. Let's say where the seam is. Let's call it that. I'm taking the part with the seam, and then I'm folding it under the top plate. Do that one more time. Fold it under the top plate, right? You just let it kind of chill there. And it's not really going anywhere because it's already kind of tucked in under there. And there's not a whole lot of places for it to move. We're just doing a one color print. So we don't even use adhesive when we do something like this. And let's see how it goes. Also, not that you guys are asking, but I definitely want to point this out. The squeegee size that you use, very important here, because we're trying to use a squeegee that's the width of roughly about the same size as the neck tag. Now, you might have to do a little better job at aiming when you're screen printing, but if you can already kind of see here, we're not taping up everything when we're doing this. Maybe a little bit of the top and the bottom, but we're really just isolating the areas that we want to screen print, and then we're screen printing it. So having a squeegee that's roughly the same width as the design we're about to do lets us do that. If it was like a huge squeegee, then you're just going to be like basically screen printing the entire area every single time you do it. So try to get a squeegee that's appropriately width to the neck tags. And in our case, it's about 4 inches. And I just realized that as I was talking to you guys about that, I didn't even tighten up my own plan. So let me tighten that up right now. The reason I know that is because it moved when I was talking. So, all right, so what I'm doing is I'm tightening up the side, the right side. I'm tightening up the right side, and I'm tightening up the 2 bottom ones, starting with the back knob. Now I'm going to do the front knob. All right, cool. And now for the test, right? So, tight. And we got our squeegee. We're doing size small. We flood it first, get some ink through there. And then just pull it across. That was awesome. I do want to use a little bit more ink though, at least for the first one. Just make sure it goes all the way through. Alrighty. Awesome. It's a little thick, so I'm going to do a few more testies just to get the ink to flow all the way through, but looks pretty good from now. I will show you guys the print in a second. All right. It's not clearing through one side, but we were having trouble with that earlier today. I'm just going to try to force a little bit of ink through it. There we go. All right. Awesome. So the prints are coming out great. I'm just going to do a few more to make sure that I'm happy with the registration, and we should be good. Cool. And one thing I'm going to adjust to this is I'm going to make this corner a little bit higher, just to straighten it out a bit. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I definitely want to show you guys what this looks like. So just printed the first one. And if I could tilt you guys down the right way. So that's what you're going to be seeing when we're printing, right? And again, the benefit to it is that when you're screen printing directly onto the shirts, it just gives you a quicker turnover for the products that we're doing, right? So instead of you having to screen print on a transfer, apply adhesive powder and all that good stuff, you're just screen printing directly onto the shirts. So let me clean myself up. Cool. So now that we have our setup pretty much done, skis, you guys can watch me screen print all these smalls. And I'm going to pretty much be going at a relatively normal pace. So basically, this is exactly how fast I'd be going if I was actually printing them. So if I don't talk a whole lot, that's why I'm doing that. Let's get some nice little cleaning. And also, you might notice that we're not using any adhesive powder. I'm sorry, adhesive sprays or double-sided tape and stuff like that. You could, you very well could. We just don't, because it's not like these are getting a print flash print or a multicolored print. And realistically speaking, and for all of you guys that actually have the platen at home, you can see that when you secure it down, it pretty much is secured. Like, it's not really going to go anywhere. All right. Cool. So this is an actual shirt that we're going to be doing. And what I like to do is actually leave the neck tags on. And the reason for that is because when we get to the next stage, which is folding and bagging, that's when we take our neck tags off with a little bit more patience, and it's a lot less chaotic. So what we're going to do, again, I'll bring you guys a little bit closer for this one. Yeah, again, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the actual neck tag, its part itself, and we're going to fold it under the top plate. And what you'll notice is two things. One, the seam actually went under the top plate itself. There's a little gap there if you have the plate at home. The other thing you're going to notice is that the label just kind of cleared off to the front. And it's good because you clearly don't want to screen print on top of it. So with that out of the way, flooding our size, and you're good to go. So you're able to screen print directly on it. Now, the other big question that we get oftentimes when we show this in the stories is, how do you get it from here to the conveyor dryer? And the answer is actually pretty easy. You just take it from here, You lift it up, you keep it open with your fingers, you put it on the conveyor dryer, you lay it down, and you're good to go. So I'm going to power through about like 10 of these, and then we can start chatting it up again. But if you do have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll make sure to get them ASAP. All right, so I'm going to do about 10 of these at pretty much normal speed. And the reason for that is so you can see if this is something that might help you out at your shop so you can kind of get through this kind of work quicker. Again, we're screen printing the neck tags directly onto the shirts. And here we go. Some of you guys might notice that as I'm doing this, the t-shirt just kind of falls down, which is awesome because it means that you don't really have to worry about placing the bottom half of the t-shirt anywhere specific. It just kind of drapes down, and that's what you want. You just want everything to get out of the way and isolate the screen printing area that you're about to screen print. And that was really the motivation going into this platen. It's not that we wanted to have an enormous contraption that really overthought the design of holding the entire piece of apparel. We really just wanted something simple and easy that isolated the printing surface area, and that's it. I will say, I think if there wasn't a camera beaming at me, I'd probably be going maybe a little bit faster than I am now. But for the sake of the video, I definitely want to go a little bit slower just to kind of show you guys the mechanics behind how to hold it down, how I take it off, all that good stuff. The other point that I wanted to kind of call out here is that we didn't tape up anything else. And I would definitely say that a benefit to isolating the print surface area is also not having to worry about the print surface area touching other parts of the screen. And that just makes it really easy when you're trying to speed through a bunch of different designs without having to worry about taping up additional ones as you're going. So yeah, do you guys have any questions so far? Well, I guess if you did, you'd leave them in the chat. But if you're watching this at a later date and you're kind of just jumping into it now because you're seeing me do this, what I'm using is the face mask platen with the 3x5 top plate assembled on it. And what we're doing is we're screen printing neck tags directly onto t-shirts. All of my sizes have been pre-sorted out before I even got started, so I know that I'm only doing the smalls. So once the small is registered, I can just screen print it directly onto the shirt. I take it off, throw it in the conveyor dryer, and I can just realistically print through most of these in about an hour. If you saw the beginning of the video, you kind of saw half of our batch going into this. I already screen printed the other half of it this morning. But yeah, the quality's great, the design's great, the details are amazing. I don't even know if I can get close enough for you guys to see all the little details. But it was a really quick and easy setup. And if you just kind of jumped into this, which is totally cool, I would definitely recommend watching the beginning of the video where you can see me set this up from the very, very, very beginning, leading up to right now. So switching over to some gray ones, just to kind of show you guys the. We use the exact same color like we mentioned for all of our neck tags. So as long as it's obviously all the same size, this helps us get more units out per hour. See? So now we're doing the gray on the gray. And we really like that. Typically speaking, I mean, gray is what we use most of the time anyways for all of our neck tags. But in a setting like this, just keeping it consistent helps you get more units out instead of having to do a color change every time. And while we're on the subject of time, this came about because formally, which are awesome because if you're doing like 1 or 2 pieces, then transfer neck tags are like the coolest thing ever. You just pull them off the shelf, heat press them as needed, and you're good to go. But you know, the problem, if you could call it that, is that every once in a while, one of the influencers that we would do production for would go viral for whatever reason in their own circle. And all of a sudden, the really cool, you know, utility of using transfer neck tags suddenly became our bottleneck. Because when we were using the neck tag transfers, we were finding that it took 2 to 3 times longer because we had to create the actual neck tag transfer, cut it up, sort it out, and then apply it again. And just the amount of application time for 1,000 units was enough hours for us to say, all right, now it's worth us just screen printing it directly on. And, you know, short of using, like, for example, and now we're going to go back to the naturals, short of using something like a sleeve platen, which are cool too, we just didn't want to be using that much adhesive or really take that much guesswork into kind of aiming the artwork. Because as you can see here, we don't have a laser system or anything. We really just wanted to have more of an assurance as to, okay, we're going to put the neck tag area here. We're going to screen print exactly as so and have 100% screen print in the correct location. And this is what we came up with. A faster way to produce neck tags directly onto using the exact same screen printing press that you currently already have. Because again, if you missed the beginning of it, this bracket can go onto any screen printing press, including the M&R and the Anatol ones. And then all you have to do is just make sure you have the correct platen and you're ready to go. I do know that there are like very specific machines that are tailored to just printing neck tags. And that's awesome. Like that's really cool. But for most print shops that we design platens for, we find that there's not necessarily an abundance of space and money, right? So like if you got an extra 1,000 square feet and you know an extra $2,000 lying around, yeah, something like I guess I won't say the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the little orange and blue machines. I think they're awesome. Like they're a really cool and efficient way to neck tag your apparel if you're doing like thousands and thousands and thousands. But if you're doing one big order, right, not multiple, but if you're doing maybe like one big order a week of 1,000 or 2,000, and you just want to get it done quickly and efficiently, a platen like this that converts your current screen printing press into a really efficient neck tagging press is a really cool way to go about it. And just, I guess, to be on the same, there's no adhesive applied to it. The t-shirt itself is just going directly onto the platen. We're locking it in by securing the seam into the bottom of the top plate, and that's it. Like we said, though, there are some hoops that, you know, this hoop obviously comes with the platen. You could secure it down, but for something as simple as this, we just, you know, we choose speed necessarily over function in this case, and it does the job quite well. Now, if we were doing like a print flash print or like a multicolored neck tag, yeah, then I probably would recommend securing it down with the hoop. But just for a quick one color print, easy peasy. And that's about it. So I just want to show you guys how I did all the size smalls. I'm going to go back to doing the rest of the sizes. But if you guys have any questions or you guys see us posting about this on the internet, feel free to check out this video, request more videos, maybe say, hey, Leo, I want to see how you do screen printed hats. Or I want to see how you screen print face masks. Let me know. Drop a comment down below, and we'll be checking that out for doing more lives. We want to start doing lives every Friday now, which would be cool. I just want to make sure that it's on stuff that you guys actually want to see because, you know, we can print anything. And we just want to make sure that it's relevant. So with that said, just a quick recap again. Bracket. So this is the bracket adapter. This is the actual platen that I'm using, which is the face mask platen for screen printing. It just has the 3x5 top plate attached to it. It is heat resistant, which is awesome because you could definitely flash this sucker. And it's a little squishy. And that helps a lot because if you're doing something like seams or a really isolated area that's still not perfectly flat, the squishiness kind of helps you print in a more even fashion. And that's what we're doing now. So I'm done with my smalls. I'm going to go load up on extra larges. And I'm really glad that I got to show you guys this live. If you have more questions, make sure that you follow us on Instagram. We're at KeyPrintCo. And also on TikTok, if you're young enough. Just kidding, you old guys. You can follow us too. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope to see you guys next Friday for another live. And have a good one.